Hey guys, it's Maymay, and it's that time of year again, time for trick-or-treaters, and sometimes you want your treats to look a little more special than just a package of candy. Now, I don't always do that. I'm typically throw the candy in the bowl when they come to the door, hand it to them. But if you're going to a function and want something super simple that looks like you spent a whole lot of time, check this out. I've got one piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock here. I want to show you what we're going to do. We're going to put this into our trimmer the long way like this, and we're going to trim this down to 4 1/4. We're going to do that twice. So we're going to get 2 of these treat holders from one piece of paper. And I just think it's going to be super cool. Don't get rid of this. We're going to use that as well. I'm trying to do this with very little waste, all right? So you've got these 2 that are going to be your treat holder, and then this piece. With this piece, you want to take a 2-inch scallop circle punch, or whatever punch you have or size you have at home, and punch out a couple of these. So I punched 2 scallop circles out of here, okay? And then I have this much left. So I want to show you what to do with this, or what I do with this. Cut this piece off, because that is trash. But then save this piece, although I wrinkled it in my punching. Save this piece in your scrap drawer, because this is perfect to mat a sentiment with or something. So don't get rid of that. That's plenty big enough to use for something else. All right, 2 scallop circles, 2 treat containers. Now you need something to put your sentiment on. And I'm going to do that with some scrap paper. So this is a piece of paper that I found in my scrap drawer. Check it out. It's bent on the end, but that's okay. We're not using that part. And I'm going to go through here and cut enough circles for whatever treats I need out of my scraps, okay? I'm only going to make 2 for you today, but use your scraps first. This was a piece of 12 by 12 paper, and I saved that last bit in my drawer. So use this for all your circles. That'd be perfect. Dig into those scraps, guys. So this is the piece of paper I cut earlier. This is the 4 1/4 by 8.5 inch piece of paper. And what I want to do, this paper is textured, and I want that texture on the outside. So I'm going to flip it over and put it into the trimmer. Into my scoreboard. Now I want to score this at 2.5 inches. Now that's just where I want to have it for the treat I'm putting in it. If you decide you need it a little shorter, a little longer, you can adjust this length based on what you need for your treats. That'll make more sense in just a second. Alright, so we've got them scored, and it's time to fold them. So we're going to fold those up and take a bone folder and crease them just like so. Same thing here. Now, normally I tell you with a project like this, when you're making a pocket, that you don't use a dry adhesive like a sticky tape, because it never dries and everything you put in it can catch on it. But this is a one-night treat that's probably going to get discarded, this little container that we're making, so I'm not going to stress about that. I'm going to use the sticky tape that I get from Punch Place Plus. Now, if you want to do this with a wet adhesive, go right ahead. Surely, if you have art glitter glue, it would work perfectly. Really, any glue that you have, you want to use for this, because it's just a little treat container. It's really just for looks. It doesn't have to last any length of time. So there's one. Let's go ahead and do the other. We'll build 2 at a time. Put this adhesive here. You just want to put the adhesive on the outside edge of the flap, because remember, we're making a pocket for our treat to fit in. Now then, let's peel that backer off. So we got the backer off, and now we're just going to fold it up onto itself. And that creates our little pocket. Let's do the other one too. Perfect. So we're getting there. Now, my idea behind these were I wanted them to be cute, but not take forever to do. So let me show you something. I have a couple of these punches, these We Are Memory Keepers corner punches. This is a rounder, a corner rounder. This has an angle and a photo punch. Let me show you what I'm going to do. I'll do 2 different ones so you can see. I'm going to angle punch this one to make it look like a tag. So that one has the tag corners. And then I'm just going to round this one. So either one of these you guys have will work. And you don't have to have this brand. Just any old corner punch that you have will work, just to kind of give it a little bit of interest. Now also, while we were punching, let's go ahead and punch a hole in the top for some ribbon. Alright, so I'm just going to take my little crocodile. I say my little crocodile, it's a pretty big dude. And I'm just going to eyeball center it and poke a hole. Now the cool thing about this is, with the crocodile, you could do more than one at a time in your crocodile. So this could go assembly line really fast and easy. Alright, that's the majority of the work done. However, I want something cute here. So I found this paper also just in my stash. You can see I cut a circle out of that at one point in time. I'm going to use this and cut a little mat for the front. And that mat size is going to be 4 by 2 1/4. So I have these 2 mats cut, 4 by 2 1/4, and I'm just going to place them on top here like so, just to give it a little color. Remember, do this in assembly line. Like if you're making 50 of these, cut all of your bases, cut all of your mats, you know, do all of your punching, cut all of your scallops, do all of that at one time, and then you're just assembling. At the end, you'll just kind of put everything together. To me, that's the way to go. I think you could push out 50 of these in no time. Okay, so we've got our pocket. We've got it matted, okay? Now we just want to put a little decoration on the front. You could get as fancy as you want, but I'm going to be super simple. Remember those two pieces we cut earlier? That's what we're going to use. So I'm going to move these up out of the way, and we're going to start to work on those. Now I'm going to use two of my stamp sets for this. The first one I'm going to use is one that's called Country Pumpkin, and it's from last year's Halloween retreat. And then I'm going to use one that's called Sweet Stuff, which is this year's release. And this one is not necessarily for Halloween or anything. This one's just for any time of year, and so it just talks about sweets, and I want to decide which one I want to use. How about something yummy for your tummy, since that kind of looks like mummy. Alright, so I've got some VersaFine ink. Ink up this little stamp with that, and then I'm going to stamp it right on to this little white circle. Now this little white circle is a 1 3/4 inch punch, and when I made this stamp set, I made sure they would all fit in that, because that's kind of my thing, is to use this circle and this circle to do little plaques, you know, little embellishments for things that I'm giving away. So that's why I did that. So if you have a 1 3/4 inch circle punch, it will fit in, all of those will fit inside of there. And now, which one do I want to use on this second one? Let's use Treats for My Sweet. That's a cute one. Right, let's ink this guy up. Treats for My Sweet. Super cute. Now, my suggestion here is, if you're giving these away to someone that you think might hang on to the packaging or something like that, you can add dimensional foam or something like that. But for this kind of project, for me, when I'm just giving this to kids, I don't put all my expensive foams and things on the project, because they're probably just going to toss them in the trash can, let's be honest. And that's okay, because they're just for, you know, enjoying and getting your candy out of and being cute. So save your foam tape when you're doing something like this. Unless, like I said, if you're giving this to someone and, you know, you want them to see the dimension, or you think they might hold on to it, then do that. So I just glued those together with my art glitter glue, and then I'm just going to glue this straight down to the package with the art glitter glue, just like this. You could add ribbon, you could add anything you want to this section down here. I'm keeping this super simple, but I'm still putting in an effort. Does that make sense? I'm going to put this one in the middle, just because I love those stripes. So see how you can change it up? Cute, right? All right, let's get some ribbon. So I have this little orange polka dot ribbon, which is super cute, and I'm just going to feed that through the top, just like so, and just leave a little bit. This one is not necessarily to tie onto anything. This one's just for looks. If you wanted to tie it onto something, make sure you leave yourself enough ribbon to do that. I'm just going to do about that much right there, and the same for the other one. You'll be able to get a lot of these out of one spool of ribbon, because we're not doing anything but making this for looks. You know, we're not having to leave a long length of this to be tied on to something. So there's that. Leave that just like that for a second, and get some baker's twine. And the baker's twine is what's going to add another dimension. And look, you get so much baker's twine on a roll anyway. This is not going to be, it won't take hardly any of this. I'm just going to cut a couple of little pieces off, just enough for me to tie a knot around these pieces of ribbon. That's it. And then it will look like we spent so much time on this little guy. So you remember that commercial where the lady came out, she had made Rice Krispie treats, and she came out with flour and everything all over her? To me, this is one of those projects where you know how simple it is, but nobody else has to know. This one goes together quick and easy, and you can do a bunch at one time. So there's two made. Now let's put our treat inside. So we have these little M&Ms, and you could put plenty more. You could add any other kind of candy you want. This is just what I had at the house today. But you could put a candy bar in, or you could add maybe a Some of those little pixie sticks would be super cute sticking out of there. Anything that would fit, you could have this cute little treat so fast and easy. It looks like you spent a bunch of time, but you didn't. So I hope you enjoyed that today. I was trying to think, you know, my time is short before Halloween, before holidays, and I thought, how could we make a cute little treat and get that to the kids and let them enjoy it? So much more you could do with this, and if you do, and you make these guys, please head over to my Facebook group, which is called Maymay Made It, and so did I, and share your creations. Let us see what you made in this same kind of format. And remember, we still have a contest going, so if you were to upload pictures of yours that you make like this, you'll be entered into our fall giveaway. Any fall project that you upload between now and the 10th of November gets you into the giveaway to win a stamp set from my store. If you're interested in the stamp sets I showed today, there'll be a link below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.